Is your mind besieged by demons? Well, I keep hearing this question. I keep hearing people talk about demons in their brain, demons in their mind. See, people have not ever met one demon in their life, but they're fully convinced they live freely within their mind. See, a demon is not necessarily what you've been taught through religion, but there are forces within society that actually proliferate financially and actually lead a good life because of your silly belief in demons. See, most of the points that you are suffering in your mind is your old hurts, things that keep going on in your brain because when traumas happen in one's life, when things occur and they create pain, they seem to create a cycle. Well, everything is cyclical. That is why all the thoughts in your mind repeat sooner or later. The faster they repeat, the faster the cycle, which is bad because it's hard to let loose from those thoughts. You have given those so much energy, so much emotion that it's kind of hard to pull out of those, right? Those are not demons. See, the point about this is a lot of people think those are demons because you have been programmed to believe that throughout the countless generations before. Why this happens so is very simple because it is very easy to accept such a reality. It's not the reality, but it is easy to accept such a reality because when you have a culprit, it's easy to say it's someone else's fault and then you'll get back to repeating those thoughts. You are the culprit because you are still entangled in repeating those thoughts instead of taking accountability of your mind and start working it, pushing its energies towards something that you may like a hobby or whatever you may like. And the point is, when these thoughts happen, they also happen because you became dependent on drama. This is another thing, generational drama, generational trauma, and people are used to it since childhood. And it can become a very easy distraction, right? So some people might ask, well, but the problem is, or the question is, who would profit from this? Well, society will profit from this because people who are constantly distracted, they are not going to spend their time learning more. So they will simply be behind in both cognitive perception and emotional perception of the day and life and the mundane existence that we have, which leads to people who are incapable of realizing the agendas or things that may happen around them. And society will proliferate because of this. A sick society will always love this because your silence is their green line to do whatever they want with your life, and your compliance, obviously your comfort, is your compliance to them. So yet again, it is a green light. So all of these things are nothing else but silly psychologies. They're pseudosciences designed to keep you busy. And up till now, there are two main so-called culprits that humans use in order to avoid responsibility. In order to avoid responsibility of using their mind correctly, they will always say that it is their lower self or the ego that makes them do that, or that there's some kind of demon or more of them in their mind. See, the question is, if you have these in your mind, you don't know exactly what that would mean, right? That would most probably call for an exorcism or something. But the point is, those demons that you think of, they do not exist in your mind, right? You're not possessed by anything. It's just that a lot of trauma has resulted in you running away from your emotions and juggling all sorts of thoughts in your mind just so that you dissociate yourself from those pains, from abandonment in life, and from the mundane in general. Because believe me or not, doing the same rat race each and every day can become overwhelming to most people because it doesn't provide you with anything, right? It doesn't provide you any emotion. It doesn't make you feel in any way, shape, or form better in your own skin. And obviously, it doesn't provide for you necessarily. Yes, it gives you some money so that you can survive, but living life without your emotions is like living life in your own car, but you're not enjoying the ride, right? You're not driving the car. You're just being driven by your impulses. And your impulses belong to your ancestors, to your predecessors. And typically, obviously, because humanity has been living in ignorance and running away from them. Well, what can that mean? Well, all your impulses, unfortunately, will be a gateway towards self destruction, right? So, hopefully, this video raised a bit of awareness. You are appreciated. Take care, enjoy life, and this being said, Ferenc Board signing out.